Welcome to Ask With everyone this afternoon. If I can get technology to play nicely with me, I have Sean Douglas with me. Sean Douglas is a retired military personnel, so thank you, Sean, for all you do and all you did. And the reason why that is so important to me is because I don't know if you guys know this, but my grandfather fought on the beaches of Antio in World War II. And so I know how difficult it is for the civilians to get back into life. I know how difficult it is for veterans to find a job. Sean not only is a veteran, but he is a podcaster too. So I'm going to let Sean take it away.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, you're welcome. And so can you please explain to my fans about why you left the Army and why you started a podcast and what you're doing now?
Sure. So I'm actually still active duty. I'm still serving in the military. I'm in the Air Force. Yeah.
Bad idea. In the Air Force.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed it. I've been all over the world, been deployed many, many times in the Middle East. I'm one of the ones who takes care of all the tactical aircraft, the F-16s and F-15s and all that. Make sure they're ready to go so we can drop bombs and do whatever we need to do. And I spent 4 years as a drill instructor for Air Force basic training from '09 to 2013. So that started my public speaking career. That I found a passion that I never knew existed, that I had before. And so I spent those 4 years as a drill instructor, screaming and yelling and teaching and training and motivating, and I love it so much. And so, when I left there in 2013, in 2014, I got to North Carolina where I'm at now, and, I found another platform for me to teach and train in, which is the resilience platform. And so now I'm a master resilience implementer for the United States Air Force, and I teach mental, physical, social, and spiritual resilience skills which empower people to withstand, recover, and grow through adversity, stress, and life-changing demands. I basically offer life transformation skills that enhance and elevate you to new heights inside of your personal and professional lives. And I love every second of what I do.
I see what you do. Now, what does this have to do with your podcast? Is it, okay, you do that for your day job, but what does that have to do with your day job? And I will ask this right out of the chat, does the U.S. military and does the U.S. military like your podcast, or do they have rules as to what you can't talk about? See, that
no, they love it.
They do. See,
yeah, they enjoy the show.
I'm very lucky that my wife enjoys my podcast too. So so we don't have a conflict of interest there.
Yeah, it's great. So I started my show because I felt like it was the next evolution. So, in 2014, because, I learned how to speak professionally. The military trained us in formatting and public speaking and, all that. So, I knew how to speak. I was speaking at colleges, I was speaking at high schools and junior ROTC classes and cadets. And I was doing it all, right? But I never got paid for it because, I was like, military guy, let's have him speak, So, in 2015, I was like, I'm going to do this professionally. Like, I'm going to go on my own. Like, I'm going to do my own thing. Like, I'm going to get booked places, And so in 2015, I built the business that I have now, which is called the Success Corps. And it's modeled after the Marine Corps and, military style with the patch and all that. And it's basically the same thing, like when you join when you join the Success Corps, you go through like an 8-week kind of an indoctrination, like break you down, build you up type, like people come to me and they're like, I don't think I can do it. And I just have these limiting beliefs. And so we try to break down those beliefs and build up, positivity. And so I started my show because it was like the next evolution of things. In 2015, I started the business in speaking professionally. In 2016, I wrote my book. In 2017, I started my show. This year, I'll probably start another show. I have an online course coming out. So it's like year after year, I'm going to do something new and build something new, because in 3 years, I retire from the military with full 20-year career. And so I'm going to retire from the military at 20 years, get my pension, and then I'm rolling right into a business that I've already been building for the past, couple of years.
I see. That's exactly how I'm doing it. I started building you guys don't know this, but I'm retiring from education, hopefully in 2019. And so that's 1 more year. And so I built my speaking clear and my authoring clear wall in education. I started my speaking clear as a teacher. And then I wrote my first book, Wall in Education, after I lost my job and after I lost my biological mom to meningitis / brain aneurysm. Yes. And then I'm slowly building up my company. So when I retire from education, I have income.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. People think, oh, Miss Wynn is going into early retirement. I'm like, nope. Miss Wynn is transferring careers and
career change.
Has an income. Career change. No, it's not retirement by any means.
Right.
It's just a career change from one tough job to another. Motivational speaker is a tough job in it. So Sean, okay, I'm going to ask you, pick your favorite child here. What has been your favorite episode of your podcast you have done?
Ooh, that's hard, because I've had so many awesome ones, but the one that I recently had last week got really emotional. It was a guest whose child was abducted and is still gone, and got abducted 3 years ago.
Oh my
and
God.
The child is still gone. So that one got really emotional, because I got 4 kids, and I can't imagine what that even feels like, but I've had so many amazing guests, like Bruce Buffer from the UFC was on my show. Zig Ziglar's son, Tom Ziglar, was on my show. The Make-A-Wish founder, Frank Shankowitz, he was on my show. I mean, I've had so many famous guests, but then I've had guests that nobody's ever heard of, and they're some of the highest rated shows. I mean, it's hard for me to say, like, oh, this is my favorite episode, but there are some that really stick out. Like, there was an Army veteran. There's an Army veteran who was in combat, and her lieutenant got shot right in front of her, and he died while they were in combat. And then she got out of the military, and she 3D printed the first ever fake, what do you call it? Fake leg, whatever,
prosthetic.
Prosthetic. So she 3D printed the first ever prosthetic for a cat. I thought that was like the coolest thing. I'm like, what? My cat had You know, like a leg that needed to be amputated, and we fitted him with a prosthetic that I 3D printed. Like, no way. He says, yeah, and then it got patented, and now that's what we sell. I'm like, no way. Like, prosthetics for animals? Yeah, we're going to try it on dogs. I'm like, that's cool. Like, that's pretty cool.
That's
So
cool.
I've had these amazing guests that nobody's ever heard of before that are doing incredible things in the world. That's what I love about my show. It's a wow factor. You know, we're telling amazing stories on my show.
Yeah. So, okay. What is your favorite paperback book or audio book if you had to give all my listeners title, what would be your favorite?
It's in my favorite book?
Yes, your favorite book.
My favorite book is a book by my friend Christopher Lochhead called Play Bigger. How pirates, dreamers,
I like the title of it.
Yeah. So Play Bigger the subtitle is How Dreamers, Pirates, and Innovators. I mean, you have pirates in the title, like, you have to read it, right? But Play Bigger is all about category design and how pirates, dreamers, and innovators are disrupting markets, you know? So it's a great and amazing business book. Play Bigger by Christopher Lochhead.
Yeah. So Play Bigger, and I presume Play Bigger could be found on Amazon.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's everywhere.
Yes.
And he also has a podcast called Legends and Losers. So, I mean, again, with the titles, right? I mean, you have to just listen to the show, you know? Yeah. So that's my plug to him. So he's amazing.
That's your plug to him. So if you had to be educated by anyone, inside or outside your field, who would it be and why?
If I had to be educated by somebody.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I think that if I had to be educated, I'm thinking educated could be anything. I mean, not just like your studies from school or college or whatever, but just like to learn from and mentor under, right?
Yeah.
That would have to be either Jeff Hoffman, who is the founder of Priceline.com, who I was in a mastermind with last year in 2017 in June. I met him at a conference I was speaking at and spent the rest of the night getting to know the guy, and he is super smart. So best couple hours I've ever spent. I learned so much. Or maybe Jeff Bezos, you know, from Amazon. I mean, the guy's built $1 billion business, you know, like I'd love to learn from him. So probably those two guys.
Yeah. So either Priceline or Jeff Bezos from Amazon.
From Amazon,
Two big companies that we've all heard of. Priceline is airline tickets, by the way, people.
Yeah.
So,
and they're both category kings in their space. They dominate their space.
Yeah. We're not talking small potatoes here. We're talking big, $1 million companies. And I self-published with Amazon. That's how I published my first book. Now I am slowly venturing into the traditional publishing, and that's completely different than self-publishing. My God, that's completely different than self-publishing. So, okay, Sean, if you had one technology tool, what would it be?
Technology hates me. Every time I try to learn,
technology hates me too half of the time.
It's like somebody's like, hey, you need to try out this app, and I'm like, yeah, let's do this, and then I like download the app, like it doesn't work, you know, I'm like, this doesn't even work, or like somebody says, hey, try this new like program, and I try the program, and like nothing works, I'm like, this is stupid.
It's me today too. And no, it was so funny. It was so funny because I was trying to upload my podcast before I got on this call with you, and technology just didn't want to work. And I'm like, I'll give it up and try again tomorrow. I can't be fighting with technology. I can't be fighting with technology. So,
Oh yeah.
technology hates you.
But there are a few things that I can't live without. Like I use Calendly for scheduling for my show, and I love Calendly. Like I couldn't live without. I don't know how I used to live without automatic scheduling, because I used to be like, okay, we'll pick a day. Like like my show's on Wednesdays and Fridays, right? I'm like, go pick any Wednesday, pick any Friday. Nope, that one's took. No, that one's took too. No, that one's booked too. And so somebody was like, look, you need to get an automatic scheduler so you can see the dates. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm like, I don't know how. So somebody introduced me to Calendly, and I was like, oh, what is this?
Yes.
And now I'm like, I don't know how I've ever lived without it.
Calendly has saved Ask Win too. Oh my God, it's like, oh my God, get on that scheduler and get an assistant too if you can afford the one. I have my BFF as my assistant. You guys all know that by now. And so I also have the automatic scheduling app, which has saved many back and forth, many back and forth. Because picking a date, going back and forth, get lost in the sea of email, and we can go down on Google Docs and rabbit hole on this one. And so Calendly has saved both John and I podcast.
There's also
saves everyone's podcast out there too.
Yep. There's also an email service called BombBomb.com, BOMB. So BombBomb.com, what it is, it's a video email service. And so when I send out or want to apply to speak somewhere, instead of like sending an email, like a cold email, like, hey, how's it going? Whatever, like I send them a video email through BombBomb.com. And it's like 80% open rate.
That one.
I don't know anybody who's getting 80% open rates on an email service or any email. It's like 15 to 20 at the max. And click-throughs and all this stuff, like all your analytics. Yeah.
That one.
BombBomb.com. I love that.
One, and I'm going to actually research that one when I have a moment to research. Maybe when I exit out of education and become a full-time journalist and become a full-time podcaster. Yeah, that's still me. Clicking and a half. So, Sean, before I ask people where they can find you and all the amazing stuff you're doing, what would be your closing piece of advice for, let's say, someone who's retired from the Army and doesn't know what to do. They don't know how to transition back into civilian life. What would be a closing piece of advice generally for them or anyone with a disability who's listening?
Yeah, so transition is a big topic of discussion. I get this question a lot, so what do veterans do when they transition out? What are they supposed to do? And some of them already have jobs lined up because they're smart enough to know, like, okay, I kind of need something, Some guys say, I'm going to take like 3 or 4 months off. I'm just going to hang out. I'm just going to chill. Take about 3 or 4 months off, not really do much, maybe look for some things, here and there, but I really just want a break, and then I'll start, whatever. Other guys like me are like, oh no, I'm building a business, because there's no way after 20 years of taking orders, there's no way I'm working for anybody else. So that's our full motivation. So, but what I always tell the transition, because I talk to a lot of them. I talk to a lot of transitioning veterans. I speak at a lot of veteran conferences and summits and events, and I'm constantly in the community. And the one thing I always tell them is that you have to always find your why and find your passion and live out your passion.
Okay.
That is like a huge deal.
Okay. Podcasting is my passion, and I'm going to be living out my passion soon. Hopefully in spring 2019, you guys, I will become a full-time journalist. Yippee, yippee. yippee skippy, I finished my program in 2019. It's from the associate's grade. No, and remember yesterday how I said, well, you guys won't be hearing that until tomorrow, but yesterday how I said I was taking a podcasting course in my school, believe it or not. They still teach podcasting as a course. And remember, I said on yesterday's episode, my podcast will become a lab. Well, unbeknownst to me, this Access podcast started following me on Twitter. I didn't know who the heck this Access podcast was. Turns out it's my teacher that has his own podcast. And so I'm like, oh my God. Now I really have to do really well because he follows me on Twitter. So this Ask Win will become the Ask Win Lab. So you guys will get to learn with me as we do this together. I mean, I didn't know at the moment I said that. Oops. I didn't know I was putting out to the universe that my teacher would actually follow me on Twitter. I know I did not follow him on Twitter. He followed me on Twitter, and we have a little thing going here. If I pass his class, which I will, he's coming on my podcast. I said I would love to interview you. He said, well, do me one thing, pass my class, and then you can interview me. So, oops, my podcast is going to be a little bit of a lab because, yeah, this is the first time I've actually taken a podcasting course ever. So I'm really, really excited. So I figured I should tell you guys that my teacher is now listening to my podcast because they follow me on Twitter. Yeah. And so if I get a little freaked out at what I say on the podcast, that's why. But I'll try not to get totally freaked. So, John, where can the people find you and all the amazing stuff you're doing?
Oh, I'm all over Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I don't do Snapagram or InstaChat or any of those other ones. I just leave those alone, So, I'm on Facebook. You can look me up, facebook.com/Sean, SEAN, Sean Douglas Speaks, or look up, the Success Core if you have any questions about the Success Core. You go to facebook.com/The Success Core, and core spelled CORPS. My website is www.thesuccesscore, CORPS, thesuccesscore.com. And look me up on LinkedIn. I'd love to speak with anybody about anything that you've heard on the show, or if you have any questions. I'm always answering questions for people and helping each other out. So love to collaborate and create some win-wins.
No pun intended there, Sean. No pun intended. Or maybe pun intended. I don't know.
Right.
But, Sean, I know you have a couple of questions for me, so go ahead and ask them.
I do. I would love to know what your why is. Like, why do you do what you do with the podcast and everything that you do? What is your why?
Because and a lot of people have been asking me this. They said, Lynn, you're also a happy person. Why is that? Because of your challenges with your disability. I like being the ray of sunshine. I'm sorry, I like being the ray of sunshine despite my challenges. So that's my why. That's my why, and I am lucky enough to have all the supportive family. Need to be going back to journalism school. They're all too supportive of it. So I like being the ray of sunshine in people's earballs. I like being the ray of sunshine in people's earballs. Now, granted, I'm human. Granted, you probably heard me talk about how you guys are not buying my books, but at least you're listening to my podcast. And so, granted, you guys like to hear me rant and rave, and I try not to do that as much as you guys want me to. But my why is because I like the other people's way of spending time.
I like it. It's awesome.
Yep.
So my second question is, do you have a 5-year vision? Because you said that, you might do some retiring and getting into some other adventures and taking some other, different roads. So if you do have a 5-year vision, what does that look like? What is your 5-year vision for your life and for your podcast and businesses and stuff?
Well, my 5-year vision, number one, is to complete my degree. Number two is to get on the New York Times bestselling list with one of my books, which I'm learning that's going to be a longer process than I thought, than anyone thought, because agents are picky and publishers are picky, and the agents that represent them are picky. They just want you to delete, and they want people that have a big platform. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys and Sean here today is, and I'll share the rejection letters, the rejection letters I've actually saved one, and I'll post it in the show notes so you guys can see it. The rejection letters are, dear Win Charles, thank you for your book, but this project doesn't suit me, and the reason why it doesn't suit them, one, my book isn't long enough, so I'm working on that. I'm adding words to books, and two, my query letter, what they call a query letter, isn't that great, so I'm working on that. It's so funny because before we got on this call, I met with a book agent, a retired book agent, who is now helping me with my query letter. So when I go re-present it to agents, it's they're more likely to pick it up, because we're talking about the big boys, and we're talking about Penguin Land in the House now, and we're talking about the big boys, and they want something that one sells and they can use. They can use.
Yep.
They don't care about the inspirational story so much, even though I have an inspirational story. They just want the sales, and they will give me a nice advance, which I'm looking forward to, but they want someone with a big enough platform that can promote books themselves, because the traditional publishers will not promote your book. And I have learned that the hard way. I've learned that through my research and through talking to people, that even though I will be traditionally published, it will take a lot of time to market the book, and I am into marketing my book now, so I just have to get all the paperwork together, and that's going to be my 5-year plan, part of my 5-year plan. Number one, retire from education. Number two, finish my degree, and then number three, get on the New York Times bestseller list and see how that carries me.
That's awesome. Those are great goals to have.
Yeah,
I like it.
and see how that carries me, and because a lot of, and I'll admit this to you guys right now, and I'll admit this to Sean, a lot of people who have made the New York Times bestseller list and made the USA Today bestseller list, they say they did it, but they won't tell you how they did it, and I will tell you how from day one. This is day one, and I've been working on this project for 2 months. So you guys get to hear straight from the horse's mouth, the rejection to let's work with you.
Awesome.
So that's why I want to be so transparent with you guys. But I know Sean is extremely busy creating amazing things and just created an amazing podcast. And I would like to thank Sean for coming on Ask Win today and sharing his story. And before he gets off the phone line, I want to have him say the name of his podcast again so you guys can all go listen to it.
Yeah, my show, it's a little unique. It's a live show. So when it's live, you can call in, talk to the guests, talk to me, which is what I absolutely love. And so my show is called Life Transformation Radio. And it is live every Wednesday. Yep. Life Transformation Radio. And it is live every Wednesday and first and third Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a live online broadcast, live online show. And so if you look up Life Transformation Radio, and Blog Talk Radio is who hosts my show. So if you go to blogtalkradio.com/Life Transformation Radio, you can catch us live. But my show is also on iTunes, Stitcher. It's on Google Play app, right? On the Google Play Music app. So you can subscribe to the show. You can catch me, like I said, live. Follow me on Facebook. You can catch all the live shows, live broadcasts, replays, whatever. But my show is live every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern and on the first and third Fridays.
Well, live show, and so you can probably listen to it live. I don't know if because I was on Blog Talk Radio, the all kinds of wins the women of wisdom on my website. Thank you very much. So you can hear Blog Talk Radio, me. And yeah, we had a good run until Blog Talk Radio gave up on me. It literally gave up on me, and I remember the day I decided to switch over to podcasting. It was the day I was trying to let a guest in, and the Blog Talk Radio goes, I don't want to let this guest in, and I sat down crying. I literally sat there crying on my at my desk, and I said, okay, that's it. Do you want this podcast to be in existence? We're going to have to do a little bit of iTunes transformation here. So that's why I got into pre-recorded podcasts, because live radio and I don't mix. Yep.
Wow.
So anyway, Sean, I really appreciate you coming on, and I hope to work with you again in the future. And once this episode comes out, I will email you the link, and you guys will hear this episode on Thursday if I can get my act together. Or it may come out on Wednesday. I haven't decided yet, all depending on how my afternoon goes. And so I will catch you guys later, and I appreciate Sean and all the work he's doing, and I hope you guys enjoyed another fabulous episode. Thanks to you guys. Bye.
Hello? Is it there? Hello?